Family, good food and laughter. We thank you for gathering together this community today to continue in the mission of Nativity Prep. We thank you for the students, both here and at OLGC, who are formed in the Salesian image of Christ. We ask you to bless all of us this day and every day. We ask this all through Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. So, welcome everyone. This is a tad overwhelming, to be quite honest. So, it is delightful to see you all. I'm going to turn it over to our president, David Kubaki. He's going to kind of do a brief intro, and then I will share some of my experiences and also introduce our wonderful students who are here with us today.
Great, thank you everyone. As Brian said, my name is David Kubaki. I'm the president of Nativity Prep. Well, even the students are coming up. Wonderful. So, for those of you that don't know the details of our school, I'll start with a sort of elevator speech. So we are a tuition-free private Catholic middle school run by the Oblates of St. Francis de Sales in inner-city Wilmington. I like to put it this way, we really take the wallet out of private schools. So right now, Wilmington's public school system is struggling in the city. The kids don't have a lot of great educational options. A lot of our families might not be able to afford an education like OLGC or some of the Catholic schools in Wilmington. So we actually provide a tuition-free experience for them. So our cost per student is about $18,000, so even greater than most Catholic schools. I'll explain why that's so high in a second. But our families pay about $250 in an activity fee, and we're even flexible on that if they have trouble with that. We want to give them the experience. So we're small intentionally. We have about 50 students, and we have about 75 graduates. And our program, some of you might be familiar with Washington Jesuit Academy in the district. We're the same exact model as Washington Jesuit Academy. I work very closely with Phil Whitaker and a lot of their staff. I even worked for the National Nativity Organization for a while. But one of the things that makes us unique is that we have a graduate support program. So we take our kids in 5th grade, we try to close the achievement gap in 5th through 8th grade, but then we follow them for an additional 8 to 10 years after they graduate from 8th grade. So we have a full-time dedicated staff person that will help, and you'll meet more formally Jamil in a few minutes, but Jamil is actually going to my alma mater, a Catholic school in Wilmington, Archmere Academy, which is sort of a rival high school of the Oblates Salesiano School, so you can imagine how proud I am. But we have a full-time staff member who helped him through that application process, will help make sure he transitions well to that school, and then in 4 years when it comes time for him to start looking at and applying to colleges, that person will be there to help them walk the family through that, because we found the families need that additional support to navigate the financial aid process. So really, and that's why when I mentioned the $18,000 per student, we provide all those additional service. In addition, we have an extended day program and an extended year program, and really give our kids the opportunity. Jamil lives quite near the school, and unfortunately, Wilmington right now has been in the paper a lot, even nationally, for violence in the city and that kind of thing. And even just a block or two from Jamil recently, but we're able to keep Jamil at school an extended day, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day, keep him off the streets, get him home. He's got a lot of homework to do, so he's doing that. And then we have a summer program in the summer where we actually take them up to DeSales University for a couple weeks. We have some of that on our campus, but they really have a lot of wonderful opportunities. And I encourage everyone to take one of these folders. They're over here on the table behind the couch. And in here there's a lot of wonderful information. A newsletter. I think one of the most impressive things in here, I'll hold it up and I always have these in my pocket, when you hear about the struggling inner city, low income, that kind of thing, rates, you hear sometimes 50% college graduation rate. Oh, here, you have to pause for this. How many know what's happening there or heard about this challenge? For those of you who didn't, for Catholic Schools Week, and that's Father Brian's closest friend, Paul Webster, who's our principal, and Father Brian's the vice principal. They had a challenge during... Did you want to tell the story? Or?
So, if you heard about it and didn't donate, then you were partially responsible. So Paul and I have been friends since college, and as with all things, we're competitive. So we said the one who raises the most money gets to watch the other one get shaved. And needless to say, we thought we'd raise 1,000. We raised 14,000 in the course of 2 weeks, and he had $850 come in at 11:59. The night the polling closed. So I was shaved the next morning. Thankfully my hair grows back. The ego not so much, but the hair is growing back just fine.
This is about a 10-minute slideshow, so if you want to see it again, just come back in 10 minutes. It'll run through. You can watch it over and over if it excites you. But sorry, back to the seriousness. You hear a lot of inner-city high school graduation rates at 50%, and believe it or not, college-going rates and college graduation rates for inner-city, minority, low-income students, that kind of thing, is 10%. They stand at about 10%. At Nativity Prep, we have a 98% high school graduation rate, and 89% of them staying in and succeeding in college, which is absolutely wonderful, and an affirmation of the work we do. So I know, and I mentioned the violence in Wilmington, the educational crisis. That's related to, I was talking to someone here who's been up to Wilmington on business and realized that the city's really struggling. So we recently partnered with, the name of the all-girls high school in DC is escaping.
Georgetown
Visitation. And they sponsored one of our students and raised money to sponsor one of our students, and we went down to their mass. You know, we're really looking to expand beyond Wilmington into other large metropolitan areas, get people to know about us, using that oblate connection, which of course Father Brian does such a great job of being connected with all of you. So I know many of you brought a gift card. In here there are several different ways to give. There's an invitation to our gala, which is about 4 weeks. It's 4 weeks from last night, on Saturday before Palm Sunday. It's a wonderful event that showcases our students and our graduates. We have our first graduate graduating from DeSales University in May, which is a wonderful accomplishment. We have our first graduate who graduated from Haverford College last year and is now back at the school teaching. So after being served by us for 12 years, he decided he wanted to come and give back, and is a wonderful teacher, right guys? Some of you have him. So, I know there's a wish list over there. The best way to give to the school is just to give an unrestricted gift to either our annual fund or our scholarship fund, and then we can use it the way that's best and use it to get many of those things. So I encourage you to take a folder with you. I'd love to give everyone's address. Maybe we can arrange that afterwards so we make sure we get you on our mailing list so you get newsletters and wonderful updates. But I think that's the gist of the school. So I was talking to someone, and someone referred to Father Brian being a rock star at OLGC. And I want to say that he's very much a rock star at Nativity Prep too. He's been there a year and a half now, and what he has accomplished is absolutely amazing. I have been involved with the school for 12 years since day one, but I left for a period of time. I came back about a year before Brian did, and we started making some changes to get the school from good to great. And what Brian and his good friend Paul Webster, the principal, have done with school culture and everything in the last few years has just been absolutely incredible. So thank you so much for being here. This means so much to us, the Zassos, and thank you to our hosts for bringing everyone together. And I want to turn it over to Father Brian to introduce our students and faculty. My lovely wife here too, Grace, is here, so thank you to her for coming with me. I was actually in Reston for the last 2 days at a Rotary International conference. So I do services in my heart, and I got that from my parents, and we try to instill it in our kids. And Father Brian, it's all you. Thank you very much.
Introductions. So first and foremost, I want to introduce the teacher, James Ferguson, over here. So James is an AmeriCorps volunteer. So he gives basically a year of service to teach our students. And I need to shout this out. So James is the one of 3 AmeriCorps volunteers in the entire country who full-time teach. We have all 3 of them. We are the only school that requires their AmeriCorps volunteer to full-time teach. So as you can imagine, it is a much weightier load. They went to a conference for interacting with their other AmeriCorps volunteers, and they were like, yeah, so we run an after-school program for like 2 hours, and James is like, I'm in school from 7 till 6 o'clock at night, Monday through Thursday. But what is awesome about that is they bring all their passion and enthusiasm that a new teacher brings, and we have a constant stream of them who come in every single year for us. So we're incredibly grateful. To my right are why we're here. These are 3 of our students. So I will start with our youngest. Christian Mezquita Medina is a 5th grade student. He arrived to us this year. Our 5th grade is self-contained, so that means he takes most of his classes in one room. The 6th, 7th, and 8th grade are more your middle school environment where they switch classes and they have different teachers who are more subject focused. Our 7th grade student, Yamel Akil, is beginning the process of looking at high schools where he will attend. Yamel's mom is one of those mothers who found out about us because she works at an oblate parish and has told us multiple times without Nativity she absolutely could not have afforded to send her child to a Catholic school that she was working for. So it's been awesome because we try in Wilmington very much to connect people to us who are faithful Catholics who would love to send their kids there but just can't afford it. And then finally, Jamil, 8th grade student, Jamil Commager, he has been with us all 4 years. So most of our students come to us actually as 6th graders because that's where the public school system breaks in Wilmington. So Jamil was one of what we call an original in a class that started from 5th grade and went all 4 years. He is geographically the closest to the school. He is a block and a half away. I discovered this actually because I drove up the wrong way on a one-way street and Jamil walked out of his house and watched this occur and then learned that I was teaching him. So that kind of confidence is exactly what I try to instill in our students. So Jamil is finishing up his time. He is in what we would call senioritis at a middle school level, which is he has heard where he is going, which is Archmere Academy, on a full scholarship. So he will get into one of the most elite private schools in Delaware. He will journey through the 4 years and then hopefully go on to whatever college he chooses and we'll have the preparation for it. They are available to chat with, interact with, ask questions with. One of the things about our students is they're amazingly well gifted at interacting with adults because we do it all the time. As David has spoken, our budget is $950,000 a year that we raise every year. And we raise for the year we're in. So we currently are fundraising to make sure we can continue to provide opportunities through the rest of the year. And one of the things I've come to realize when you work in school and Nativity is everyone does it because they love what they do. Most of our AmeriCorps teachers just make a stipend, and yet most of that stipend they are putting back into kids. Taking them on field trips, taking them on incentive trips, buying stuff for the classroom. I've gotten maybe 2 receipts my entire 2 years that a teacher has asked me to reimburse them for something in their classroom because they just know that if they want to make it happen, they're going to dig deep. So in order to continue to expand their opportunities, we just partner with whoever we can. And then this is Christian's dad, Mezquita, and he is a photographer, as you can tell, but he has also become one of our greatest advocates. He came to us at the beginning of the year and just said, my son loves it here. He has a younger son who keeps going, I can't wait to go to Nativity when I grow up. So the whole family is committed, and family relation is very important. You guys get it at OLGC. Your families all know each other. You're all connected. Nativity is the same way. Part of it is because a lot of our students are related. In the 8th grade class, 4 of the 12 are cousins. So that connects you in one way. But the rest might as well be because they live at each other's houses, they know each other's lives, and that's part of the strength because the families support each other, bring new people into the fold, and go through. So this is our family that we have brought to you for the day. So feel free to ask any of us any questions, but any support you can do now or in the future, absolutely, we appreciate it all. So thank you, friends, and enjoy the rest of the time. We can take questions now as a group, or we can just email.